You think your English is good until you open your mouth, and suddenly everything becomes very this, very that, very good, very bad. It sounds simple, safe, understandable. But here's the truth no one tells you. If you rely on very, your English will always sound basic. And today, we're going to fix that. Not with boring vocabulary lists, not with memorization, but with a shift in how you think, how you express, and how you sound. Because fluent speakers don't just know more words, they choose better ones. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine you're describing a movie. You say, "It was very good." Now, technically, that's correct. No grammar mistakes, no confusion. But it's weak. It tells me nothing about your experience. No emotion, no personality, no precision. Now compare that to this. It was phenomenal. It was captivating. It was unforgettable. Feel the difference? One sentence sounds like a textbook. The others sound like a human being. This is the gap we're closing today. And here's the first thing you need to understand. Very is not wrong. It's just lazy. It's what your brain uses when it doesn't have a better option ready. So instead of saying, "Don't use very," I want you to upgrade it. Because every time you say very plus adjective, there's almost always a stronger, more precise word waiting. Let's start simple. Very big. What does that actually mean? Is it massive? Is it enormous? Is it gigantic? Each word carries a slightly different weight, and when you choose the right one, you sound sharper instantly. Very small becomes tiny, microscopic, compact. Very fast becomes rapid, swift, lightning fast. Very slow becomes sluggish, gradual, delayed. You see what's happening? You're not just replacing a word, you're upgrading your expression. But here's where it gets interesting. Most learners think vocabulary is about memorizing lists. It's not. It's about patterns. Let me give you a pattern that will change everything. Instead of saying very plus basic adjective, train your brain to search for one precise adjective. This is how native speakers think. They don't say very tired, they say exhausted. They don't say very hungry, they say starving. They don't say very angry, they say furious. And notice something important. These words don't just replace very, they amplify emotion. That's why they sound more natural, because real communication is emotional, not mechanical. Now, let's go deeper, because if you really want to sound advanced, you can't just swap words. You need to control intensity. For example, very interesting could become fascinating, strong and positive, intriguing, curious and slightly mysterious, compelling, emotionally engaging. Three different choices, three different impressions. This is where fluency lives, not in knowing words, but in choosing the right one for the moment. Now, let me challenge you. Think about how you usually describe people. Very nice, very smart, very funny. These are safe, but they're forgettable. Now watch this transformation. Very nice becomes kind, considerate, warm. Very smart becomes brilliant, sharp, insightful. Very funny becomes hilarious, witty, entertaining. Do you see what's happening? You're becoming more specific, and specificity is power in language, because the more precise you are, the more credible you sound. Now, here's a mistake I see all the time. Students learn these advanced words, but they never use them. Why? Because in real conversation, your brain goes back to default mode, which is very plus something. So here's what you need to do instead. You need to train your reflex, not your memory. And the way you do that is simple. Every time you catch yourself saying very, pause for half a second. Ask yourself, what's a stronger word here? At first, it will feel slow,
uncomfortable, even frustrating. But that's exactly where growth happens. Because fluency is not about speed, it's about control. Let's take a real life example. You're in a job interview. You say, I'm very interested in this position. That's fine, but now upgrade it. I'm genuinely excited about this opportunity. Do you hear the difference? One sounds generic, the other sounds intentional. And in professional situations, this matters more than you think. Now let's push this even further, because advanced speakers don't just replace words, they reshape sentences. Instead of saying, I'm very tired today, you could say, I'm completely drained today. I barely have any energy left. Now you're not just using better vocabulary, you're creating impact. And that's the goal. Because English is not just about correctness, it's about effect. How your words land, how they make people feel, how they position you. Now here's something most people overlook. Sometimes removing very forces you to be more creative. Instead of, it's very cold, you could say, it's freezing, it's bitterly cold. The temperature is brutal today. Now you're painting a picture, and that's what makes your English memorable. Let's talk about storytelling for a moment, because this is where very really limits you. Imagine telling a story like this. It was a very scary experience. Now compare that to, it was terrifying. I was genuinely scared for a moment. My heart was racing the entire time. Which one would you rather listen to? Exactly, because strong language creates engagement, and engagement keeps people listening. Now let's connect this to your goal. You don't just want to speak English, you want to sound confident, natural, impressive. And here's the truth. Confidence in language doesn't come from grammar, it comes from expression, from having the right words available when you need them. So every time you replace very with something stronger, you're not just improving your vocabulary, you're building your identity as a speaker. Now, let me give you a practical system you can start using today. Step 1. Pick 5 common very phrases you use. For example, very good, very bad, very important, very difficult, very interesting. Step 2. Find 2 or 3 stronger alternatives for each. Step 3. Use them intentionally in your next conversation. Not perfectly, just consciously, because repetition builds instinct, and instinct creates fluency. Now here's the final shift I want you to make. Stop aiming to speak correctly. Start aiming to speak vividly. Because nobody remembers correct sentences, they remember powerful ones. So the next time you're about to say, very good, pause, upgrade it, and watch how people start to listen differently. Because the moment your language becomes sharper, your presence becomes stronger. And that's when your English stops sounding like a learner and starts sounding like you. Now let's take this to the next level. Because removing very is just the beginning. If you really want to sound advanced, you need to understand something deeper. Fluent speakers don't just replace weak words, they control nuance. They adjust tone. They choose language based on context, not habit. Let me show you what that means. Take this sentence. This task is very difficult. Now, you could upgrade it to, this task is difficult, or even, this task is challenging. But an advanced speaker goes further. They ask, what kind of difficulty? Is it mentally demanding? Is it time-consuming? Is it frustrating? So instead, they might say, this task is quite demanding. This is a complex problem to solve. This requires a lot of focus and precision. Now, you're not just speaking, you're thinking in English. And that's the shift that changes everything. Because when you start thinking in layers instead of shortcuts, your language becomes more sophisticated automatically. Now let's talk about intensity control. Most learners only know two levels, normal and very. But English has a full spectrum, and once you start using it, your speech becomes far more natural. For example, instead of very good, you could say good, neutral, great, stronger, excellent, very strong, outstanding, exceptional. Now you're not stuck with one option. You have a scale. And this is exactly how native speakers operate. They don't exaggerate everything, they choose the right level. Because saying everything is very good actually makes you sound less expressive. Now let's flip this. What about negative situations? Instead of very bad, you could say bad, basic, poor, more formal, terrible, strong, awful, emotional, unacceptable, professional. See the difference? Each word carries a tone, and tone is what makes your English sound intelligent. Now here's something most people never learn. Advanced English isn't about sounding complicated. It's about sounding precise. Let me give you a real example. A learner says, "My boss is very strict." An advanced speaker might say, "My boss has high expectations. My manager is quite demanding. My supervisor is very detail-oriented." Now notice what changed. The meaning is similar, but the impression is completely different. One sounds like a complaint, the others sound professional. And this is where language becomes strategy, because how you say something changes how people perceive you. Now let's go even deeper, because sometimes the best upgrade is not a stronger word, it's a different structure. Instead of "I'm very busy," try "I've got a lot on my plate." "My schedule is packed." "I'm tied up with work at the moment." Now you sound natural, conversational, fluent. And this is what separates intermediate speakers from advanced ones. Not vocabulary alone, but flexibility, the ability to say the same idea in multiple ways. Now let's talk about emotion, because very often kills emotional impact. For example, "I was very surprised." That's flat. Now compare, "I was completely caught off guard." That really surprised me. I didn't see that coming at all. Now your sentence has life, and that's what people connect with, because communication is not about information, it's about experience. Now here's a powerful technique you can start using immediately. Instead of asking, "What's another word for this?" How would I naturally say this in real life? Because sometimes the best upgrade is not more advanced, it's more authentic. Let's take another example. Instead of "I'm very happy," you could say, "I'm really pleased with how this turned out." "I couldn't be happier." "I'm genuinely excited about this." Now your English sounds human, not robotic, and that's exactly what you want. Now, let's address a hidden problem. Overusing strong words can also hurt you. If everything is amazing, incredible, fantastic, nothing stands out anymore. So the goal is not to replace very with extreme words every time. The goal is control, balance, precision. Because advanced speakers know when to be subtle and when to be powerful. Now, let's bring this into real-world scenarios. Imagine you're giving feedback at work. Instead of "This report is very good," say, "This report is well-structured and clear. You've done a solid job presenting the data. This analysis is thorough and insightful." Now you sound professional, specific, valuable, and people take you seriously. Now, imagine a casual conversation. Instead of, that restaurant was very good, say, the food was excellent. The service was great. I definitely go back there. Now you sound natural, effortless, confident. Now let's talk about fluency under pressure, because this is where most learners struggle. In real-time conversation, your brain wants speed, not precision. So it goes back to very plus adjective. That's your default. And the only way to break that is through repetition in context. Not memorizing lists, but practicing real sentences. So here's what I want you to do. Start small. Pick one word, just one. For example, instead of very tired, exhausted. Use it all day. In your thoughts, in your conversations, in your messages. Make it automatic. Then move to the next one. This is how you build real fluency, layer by layer. Now, let's zoom out for a moment, because this is bigger than vocabulary. This is about how you present yourself in English. When your language is vague, you sound unsure. When your language is precise, you sound confident. And confidence changes everything. How people listen to you, how they respond to you, how they remember you. So this is not just about sounding better. It's about being taken seriously. Now, here's your final challenge. For the next 24 hours, don't say very. Not once. Every time you're about to use it, replace it, or restructure the sentence, or express the idea differently. It will feel uncomfortable, that's normal. It means you're rewiring your habits, and that's exactly what you need. Because the goal is not to eliminate a word, the goal is to upgrade your thinking so that your English becomes sharper, clearer, and more powerful. And once that happens, you won't just speak English better, you'll sound like someone worth listening to.